FM, AYV Television, Channel 33, and online on www.ayvnews.com or all AYV social media platforms out there. This is program, The Hot Seat. Me and Mama Jalo Suli DJ Bass, and as I say sometimes we talk about human interest issues, all issues, as long as you give a dude's development. So today, to God be the glory, and I've been on the wait forgets we brother, and one of the big personalities in this country, and for years now, over 3 years, and God don't make it able to. So we done there. We brought our boss going to say hi to viewers and listeners out there, boss.
Hello viewers, Mina Francis Ben Kaifala, the Commissioner of the Anti-Corruption Commission of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
Okay, nice having you after a lot of struggle and prayer. So God be the glory.
But,
okay,
we are here now.
Thank you.
Let's
God
talk
bless.
it all.
Thank you. So just take me back inside the fight of the corruption fight since you come into power. What's in your work? Let people get your understanding about.
Well, my work really, the law, Section 7 of the Anti-Corruption Act say, now me, for work with my team, for primarily coordinate the effort against corruption inside the country.
Okay.
And one of the work they do, now prevention work.
Okay.
For make sure that people do not do corruption. So they review systems them, basically for make sure that corruption not happen.
All right.
The other work we can do now investigation where corruption don't happen, what you do about them.
Okay.
For hold people them accountable, ask them questions, and the other thing we can do, we don't finance the evidence they will support, we can send them to court.
Okay.
Or if we not send them to court, we recover the money and we take administrative action.
All right.
And another work they do now for educate the public.
Okay.
And one of the reasons that they were there, so for educate the public, for understand the ills and evils of corruption, and for recruit them for continue for support to in the fight against corruption.
Okay. So for the layman point of view, we're going to watch you. What's in a corruption?
Corruption, a way you use your office for confer advantage, for put advantage by yourself, for put benefit by yourself or some other person when not proper.
All right.
Okay, so corruption really now what you do improper thing for give somebody advantage what you're not supposed to forget.
Okay.
Now, in a corruption. Not to only the way they take money or then things and they it could be you put somebody in a one office where you're not supposed to put them. It could be say you not follow a particular process where you're supposed to follow. It could be say you take government money or money where they give you for give other person. It could also be say you abuse your office and position. You're supposed to do things that way, but because you're a big man, you not follow processes, you just want cut corners and do things. So now that in a corruption, it's difficult for define. But basically, then we then the for describe and for make people able to visualize.
You get certain class of people and we they look government people or parastatals, MDs or not just maybe politicians or government.
Yeah, we broad mandate cover people them in public service.
Okay.
People that way they work for government.
All right.
But certain offense then they will also cover people that way they in private service. For example, bribery. If you bribe a public officer, you commit an offense.
Okay.
Similarly, the officer will receive the money, commit an offense.
Okay.
Misappropriation can be done by people that will not work in the government, like them bankers them. Some money they will do for go to government or they for pay to NRA, then you go pull out, you use them for yourself, even though you know they work in the government, but you don't misappropriate government property. Right. So it cover all things.
Okay, since you take up this job, how free you able to do this job?
Absolutely.
Interference politically or party them go meet you and say, "But this man, a real man, now come up." You know?
Yes, I know. Then thing they are Sierra Leone a very small society. Almost all man know everybody. I mean, a typically homebred person.
Exactly.
I go to school now, I go to university now, I get people everywhere. But at the end of the day, it's about your own ability for do you work independently. The one work you worry about most now way like the government not give you chance for do you work like the president not allow you for being now you worry about.
Okay.
But in this case, we get a President Bio, we really believe in the fight against corruption.
Okay. And
don't give you a free hand for do a job and you know they interfere at all.
So since you take up, you get a free hand for do your job?
Absolutely, 100%. Okay.
So since you take up again, the other question like I mentioned earlier on, like you also say,
Oh yes, that they happen many times. Hey, but this now we on policy, oh now we all don't suffer at the party, or now we all come on a particular part of the country, or you know, this policy are related to your family. It's a normal thing, but would I know me from the days when I be in school? I don't hold leadership position from school days, stay to university, stay I reach now. They know students, they know they work with me.
Okay.
In my world, I judge two people, they want two things: the personal merit and the content of your character.
Okay.
So if you related with me, first of all, now you're supposed to make sure say you not do anything we go make a need for take action against you.
Okay.
But if I have to take action and they can't begin a bigger, now we all belong to party, or now we all come here, or now no, I don't care about those things.
When you take up the job, you think about the money when they pay you and the fight, take into consideration the kind of money we go collect from different places?
Give me a bit of context.
Well, maybe you take up the job, let's say maybe then they pay you 100 million. Then you fight cases they'll get for those billions.
Billions. Like today, so don't go give how much? 8.1 billion to the country. I mean, you see, all that thing they come with content mind. Okay, like you always tell people, say for work, na government a sacrifice.
Okay.
Okay. When me I be a private lawyer, I was earning way more. I became your law firm. I get cases that coming from all over the world. Clients in one transaction, I was capable of making $100,000. There's no way I get that as a CC commissioner. But then I sacrifice. Now, Mrs. take decision and say, I am capable of doing this. I was offered and I accepted.
Okay.
And now I have been in this position for 5 years. So no matter how much they pay me, I just want to do the job and to the satisfaction of the people of Sierra Leone and to my own conscience.
When you take up the job, which case now, the first case where you take up?
The first case where I handled have been the case involving Victor Foe and others, where my predecessor be done investigate and he be done charge, but he left as a sealed indictment.
Okay.
I began for unseal him and just make sure say gonna the first case I deal with. But you know, remember say I come in as commissioner at a time when there was a political transition from one government to another, and there were many issues. Cases involving NRA, Hajakala and others. If you remember, those were cases that we dealt with earlier on. Then we get cases then, the Commission of Inquiry was there. It was just too many. I can't name any particular one by one, but there.
All right, maybe Commission of Inquiry, looks like when I be one big case where you ever do it, maybe I would say mostly politicians. I mean, how in that case, because no say the COI being do waiting them for double.
Yeah, you know, say the COI really was given to 3 judges. They wouldn't carry it for looking to and decide, and they gave their decision and wouldn't not happy with them. You appeal to the Court of Appeal. Some of them have appealed, some of them successfully, many of them unsuccessfully, and some of the matters them they don't recover the houses, then they do enforcement. Some don't come back to it for investigation. So
far, what are the progress of that case? How many people don't pay and how many left still?
In the COI matters?
Yeah.
But the COI matters really, the payments and recoveries and all the enforcement that they in the hands of the Office of the Attorney General.
Okay.
Maybe they just provide backup support from them. So maybe they will be able, they're going at the best position for answer that question. But I just know say people that don't pay back and they don't recover some houses where they don't try for give back to the state. And then of course a certain one they're still there under appeal in a court, and there's someday where they don't refer back to the ACC for investigation or they investigate.
Okay. What's in the give the cause where they sometimes say people can pay back, some man not they pay, someone they're going to prison. How will they do that?
It depends on many factors. When a case comes to the court, we can look at a case because we'll be doing an amendment in 2019 where we give you the power for decide whether for going to court and for recover.
Yeah.
So we can look at the case, we look at the case portfolio we're going to court, how many volume cases we get to court, and decide whether this case for going to court or let we recover and we apply certain other administrative sanctions and other things like that. So basically that's what we have been doing. In certain cases, and a lot of people then can say, oh, Ben, no, they lock people then up. I don't have powers to lock people up. And the judiciary, they try somebody, find them guilty, and decide for impose a custodial sentence. The challenge you will get is the judiciary has refused to impose custodial sentence.
Why?
No matter how we appeal to them. No matter how, because the alternative is provided by law.
Okay.
It's either prison or fine.
Okay.
And the judiciary has this proclivity to rather fine the person than to order than they be.
You know, can make a recommendation.
And we don't make all kind of recommendation. I don't write letters. in fact, I don't get arguments with judges. I've made them to understand that look, if we have to defeat corruption in Sierra Leone, we have to make corruption a high risk and low return venture. Which means, in simple words, we have to make corruption expensive. And the most way for make corruption expensive, now for lock people there up. Whether man the member say you get for their away from a family, or that woman member say you get for their away from a family for 3, 4, 5 years, the disgrace and shame that go with them, trust me, like this country are done straight. But the judiciary just not get proclivity at all for other custodial.
Is that they're not looking into some of your recommendations that we can bring or what?
Well, you see, the judiciary is a respectable body, not an independent arm of government.
Okay.
Nobody not dictate to them, not even the president would dictate to them how to do their work. We go only canvass them, we go only explain to them, we go only convince to them, say, there's a reason why the law provided that there should be custodial sentence. But DJ Base, ask yourself, a country like this would only fight corruption from 2001 to today. How many people they don't go to jail after a judgment for corruption? And the public, you feel say, is about the ACC. The ACC can do its best for prosecute. And we are getting a lot of judgments. Okay? But if the courts are not sending them to imprisonment, they are out there. We don't see people there where they fine, then they go to court, then they come with the money already inside box, sit down near them, as they pass the sentence to them, they pay, and then take their shoulders high and dance with them along the streets of Shakastini streets in victory. We have to change that. And trust me, the judiciary, they do very well in trying our cases, and they get the judgments. But when it now comes to that final killer, impose custodial sentence, trust me, they're not getting hard for the one.
Why?
I don't know.
You ever ask them why didn't they, impose them custodial sentence?
I don't ask them.
The
explanation, well, we are just trying to balance things. What are you balancing? Just do your job, man.
Okay.
Just do your job.
You think the judiciary, they help you for the job, or then they do their own part?
Well, the judiciary, they do their own job according to how they feel. Like, I don't tell you in an independent body. The only thing is, why would they get in conversations there in a country? We all get for no say. We did in what we call in economics the multi-person prisoner's dilemma, where my actions are contingent to your actions. Okay? If we are going to reach to an optimal or for reach an equilibrium, the actions them get for they move in the same direction.
Together.
So the ACC investigates and charges to court and prosecutes, and there's a conviction. The judge sentences and imposes a custodial sentence. The prison officers, they detain the person and keep under prison until he serves in sentence time. At the end of the day, they come out into society and the society rehabilitates them. These are 4 tranches of actions that are dependent on each other. Okay?
Okay.
But no one person has control over what the other person can do. So in this multi-person prisoner's dilemma, it's only when we all act in the same direction that the optimal can come for the country. It's not the optimal for the country. We make corruption expensive. They want to wait if 8.1 billion euros will go show to the public today. If there is certainty that we will charge them to court that they will go to prison, you feel the other person will easily do that?
No.
No.
So, in your fight, you believe in that kill dog before dog no say die day?
I don't only believe na me your mantra that one day. I believe say one of the reasons why Salon don't they how it is all this while is because we don't baby ourselves too much.
Okay.
We hear all this take it easy, we left farm, people that make mistake and then we be everywhere. Most times people that they come to my office, then they cry tears, they come down. No, sir. Let we build a society where every man the answer for his actions.
Exactly.
That sorry, sir. In fact, sometimes when somebody tell me say I'm sorry, sir, they at me.
Okay.
Because you knew what you were doing when you did it. Why they can't tell me I'm big, sir? You have all these people, you take one driver, you put her inside your motor car for do something, you left money inside your pocket, it's fam. Why if I tell you I'm sorry, sir, you're sorry for him? You understand? I make my office, for example, in ICC, when people make mistakes, I get one recently, we do some kind audio where they talk, say, go pass information to somebody. The audio came into my hands, I call everybody, put them in a meeting, I make them put speaker, I play the audio for them. After the audio not finished, if you don't need the beg. No, sir, I'm not listening to that beg. When I go dismiss the man, let go home.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
Let go sit down with the family, then let them wake up in the morning and look at themselves.
All right.
So basically, we have to be ready to take ourselves seriously. And the only way we will take ourselves seriously, now for take action. If somebody do something, like they were waiting this money, at the American, I talk say 50, nobody know they get bail. All man call me in this country, all kind of people they call me because they get families, they get friends, some of them, I don't know them for years, they are not going out. You know why that money they come out? Because for 15 days, there was no bail.
Wow.
Now the money come also today would all return to the state. This is not country where they're afraid. But the reason why some of them, they get away with a lot of things, now this Abexa syndrome. Let we leave this Abexa syndrome.
All right.
Let everybody take responsibility for his actions. If you do harm so much that you're able to say Abexa, let you face the consequences.
Okay.
If we do that, we can always go back now and review, because sometimes you get to be compassionate, but you cannot be compassionate at the mercy of doing your duty.
Okay. All right. I believe saying a man where you can move in a different place, a grassroots man, and before now, don't there a lot of people and say, well, Ben will be get respect for and take to the same way you been bring them teachers them out on the streets. Where I mean that was like go viral, and like some of will be really glad and think say maybe those steps should be taken. In other words, not part of kill dog before die. In other words, we see people shameless, they come and all that stuff. But all of a sudden we see, well, maybe President Kainsa or they don't need to say, you know, what's really happened?
Yeah, because you know what happened, DJ Base.
You tell
So
me.
probably you explain what happened.
I mean, I know.
Hello, but yes, you know. I was vilified. This country came after me.
Okay.
You sabi the story of Jesus Christ and Barabbas in the Bible? Where the crowd said, give us Barabbas, a thief, and go away with this man. I was treated like that in this country.
You feel
In
disappointed?
the eyes of all of you.
You feel disappointed?
In the eyes of all of you.
Yeah, of course.
My head was called for. They said that, in fact, they made posters and shared them that I should be dismissed from the ACC. The teachers put out a press release that they will not teach. They gave an ultimatum to the president that if he does not remove me from the ACC, and I apologize to them for that action, they will not teach again. And the free quality education was in jeopardy.
Exactly.
As a listening president who understood that there are bigger things to worry about, he spoke to me and said, Ben, don't worry. Let me just apologize to them and let's move on.
Okay.
And he apologized as father of the nation, which was very good. I thank him for it. But after I was treated like Barabbas for trying to send a message to this country that we have to take corruption very seriously. We have to take action, strong action against the corrupt. I was humiliated.
You feel disappointed?
I cried in my office for 2 hours.
Why?
Because I felt rejected. Nobody was looking at the intention behind what I did.
And now it's worse.
And I was insulted. I saw my own friends. Some of them, it has taken 3-4 years, they've never posted on Facebook. They were posting every hour to insult me. I sat down and watched WhatsApp groups where I was with people. They spent hours analyzing how wrong I was.
You're right.
I saw people, I had people go on radio, do analysis. Even when we were pointing to them the evidence, they were here, they saw the evidence of that raid. Teachers sleeping with girls, taking them to special rooms, principals providing their rooms for them to take WAS exams and go to university. They saw the videos of people hiding in freezers and all those things. I was treated like Barabbas.
All right.
And now, when we arrest the corrupt, the same people who spend weeks making analysis on Facebook are the ones who are saying, why is Ben not taking these people to the cutting tree? I mean, how can Ben take people to the cutting tree? You said you do not want it and we listened to you and we said it is no longer part of the process. That's why we are not doing it.
So for how much you think say when I don't give to government when I don't collect cash?
Oh, it's about 65 billion euros.
Okay.
All euros. 65
What about
billion.
properties?
Properties, a number of houses have been returned to the country. It could be close to 15 houses. Cars, maybe about 6 or 7. It's different. We can do recoveries in many ways. Sometimes we can just recover and give back to the person directly.
Okay.
Sometimes we can give to the government. Sometimes we can just take them and say that person they will get a car, take your property and go. So it's really the one way we can more focus on are the cash. But then half things and they will do like houses, cars, properties and things like that. We don't really take them much into consideration.
Okay. So recently we don't see a lot of issues don't come up. Which cases in the anti-corruption they look as a high-profile case or maybe low-profile case? So I get a category of cases.
Yeah, corruption and get grand corruption and petty corruption. Petty corruption and then half corruption. Policeman take bribe along the road for left the traffic police to go. A teacher where they ask the student and for give money in a school 2,000 euros, 5,000 euros, 3,000 euros.
Yeah.
That man we sit down at that office and that domot where boss they go, hey pa, wait till they left for me now, sir. Your body, all those things. He's a public officer, he's paid for his work.
Okay.
Why is he asking people for money at that gate?
Yeah, right.
For simply opening the gate and locking it? Is that what you applied for? You were appointed a gate man. Just be a gate man, man. Don't be harassing people everywhere. But it's so widespread that if we say we are going to arrest all those people, investigate them, and lock them up, we will not be able to do our job. So we can try to address them through public education, through prevention measures, and sometimes we can do 1 or 2 arrests and detentions just for send message and sometimes prosecute. But the grand corruption, when the more you refer to as high-profile corruption, and then corruption there we're so large in volume, and we're capable to affect the substratum of the country.
Yeah.
We're able to paralyze the country from governance. Somebody was supposed to buy drugs worth 1 billion used for supplies to hospitals, you take the money and eat them. Somebody where they work in one ministry, we're supposed to make sure say agriculture happen and one chiefdom, you take the money and eat them. But those are grand corruption, or you take bribe before you sign document, or procurement issues them for key contracts, you take money or them. So those are all kickbacks and all those things. Never in that grand corruption. All of them are serious. But some of them ought to be treated more seriously because of the sheer volume that involves them and the likelihood of how they were able to destroy the fabric of the nation.
So presently, which one down the way get that category we will talk about?
I don't know about who DJ base.
Can you name few?
I mean, for one normal, you ask me on anyone who you know of.
Well,
But, for example, we get a National Revenue Authority.
Yes.
We recently, through EcoBank, then divert almost 45 billion among themselves and share.
Well, then people
We get this one who just don't do we involve the Sierra Leone Roads Authority,
SLRA,
where we recover this 8.1 billion euros.
Yeah.
Okay. When at the Ministry of Finance, we find to it. For say we investigate this. We get other ones them where really we get a case involving the clerk of parliament. Those are all grand corruption, because grand corruption is not just the volume, like I say, how well able to shake the foundations of the country.
Okay.
So like the case involving the clerk of parliament, with all due respect and purposes, it cannot be compared to a case where somebody thief 1.5 billion euros. But the magnitude of the fact saying that this kind of big man, he go take a wife and bring a can of parliament, the country is really shocked about it.
Yeah.
I've never seen, probably after the 43 saga, there has never been an interest in we work on this kind of volume as it was when this issue happened involving Honorable Parantrali and his wife.
Yeah.
And to we really, it's not those really, not to that kind of corruption and the way you go say it very high. It's administrative, it's serious, a conflict of interest, but you cannot compare it to somebody who stole 8.1 billion euros. But the public is more enraged about it. So it qualifies for being categorized as grand corruption.
Okay.
So we get all the one and the Honorable Jaya Kaikai, for example, we say they get one G-Wagon, there's the vehicles that still there with we they investigate, we don't give them time, say like produce this Lebanese man, we give the motorcar, up to now the Lebanese man not come yet. But we give enough time because we know how act against somebody, like say we are being unfair. If you see that Lebanese man give you the motorcar, all that we need for doing that and for me the Lebanese man contact to we and explain to we the circumstances where he give you the car. And by the way, an offense of unexplained wealth, not to we for need for do anything. Now you're supposed to explain how you get the wealth. So the motorcar is still there with we, and we're not able to get a Lebanese man yet. So now the update on that. So basically that's how it is.
Okay, what about the case who gave it to Samoa for the, case in the United States will be also soon now?
It didn't court.
Okay, so you know come to conclusion yet?
No. It is with the judiciary now.
All right. Well, later we also see when I see them for pay some money and former President Koma. When I don't get them money then they?
No.
Why?
They not paid.
Why? When I not been getting timeline for that?
You know, in the Commission of Inquiry, that money they come on.
Yeah.
And I don't tell you, say the Commission of Inquiry and the Attorney General's department get a responsibility for recover that money, not we.
Okay.
So it's not really within the ACC domain. Because that corruption issue, a lot of people, Commission of Inquiry, ACC, no. Then particular one day, now Attorney General's department and get responsibility for them. So if they not pay back it, when I ask Attorney General and in department, then go explain.
Okay. Okay. You mentioned also about Paran issue, and before now, when I've been pulling a release way, when I've been say 10 months, and now I see when I say about 19 months.
Yes, you see, now I make most times where investigations decide the public wants information.
Yeah.
And we can slow sometimes for give our information because forget information on things there, yeah? My brother, sometimes it's not easy. So we go to parliament say you only work for 10 months. Now the preliminary investigations, information that we got. Oh, the pressure from the public, we say it's not 10 months. Remember, even when we come out later, we say now 17 months. But by the time we get all the information, including the notices all sent to our accountant generals, for sending vouchers, for sending payroll and everything, and the time now we get a full picture. And that takes weeks to do. So sometimes it's difficult for we. We don't want to say anything because we know say this is preliminary, but the public wants information. Because again, if you don't get the information, they say, you don't want to do nothing. You don't want to do nothing. Look up. Now because not clerk of parliament. But the true picture which we now have is a period of 19 months where Mrs. Abibatu Parantarali worked, was on payroll, not really worked because the evidence was that she didn't really work.
Okay.
And she was paid a salary of about 7.6 million euros a month. And that 7.6 million euros a month, for that period, the calculation came roughly to about 151 million euros, and Honorable Parantarali don't pay that full amount to the ACC.
Una check who say pull the money there for paying quick?
No, we no check.
Why?
Because we don't really get interest in who say you pull the money. We want the money. But also, we expect say you know go dig hole for cover hole. If not, we'll come back for you for that. So we are expecting that now you money or you go lend from family members. So
no check who say people pull the money for payback?
No, no check.
Why?
Because it does not matter. We want the money.
All right, okay. That's good. Now we'll take a look and watch this video. Quick fumble video with the ACC boss.
Ben Kaifala will talk a lot about corruption issues.
Let's watch this video. We'll come back. Stay tuned.
Retired Brigadier Dr. Julius Mada Bill, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Let's sit down, please. As you can notice, this is not my normal voice. Hazards of the occupation, occupational hazards. I had to be threatened to come here. This building has been completed for some time, but I've not had chance, and he said, you have to be here to commission it. But I've been busy trying to canvass your votes. If I've not come to you, please let this serve as my coming to you. I need your votes. Madam Chair, the Honorable Chief Justice and other justices present here today, Ministers of Government, Members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, the Board of the Anti-Corruption Commission, the Commissioner, our great friend and fighter, the Deputy Commissioner, another strong man, and the great staff of the Anti-Corruption Commission. Are you here? Yeah. You are our warriors. Thank you for committing to this fight. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure for me to join you here this morning to celebrate the successes of a commission that has contributed immensely to the rule of law and the governance of the state since 2018. Corruption, I've always said, is an existential threat to the image, integrity, and wholesomeness of the state. It undermines not only the public service delivery, public trust, but also national cohesion. And as you all know, these are critical components for nation building and development. We must therefore prevent and curb the flagrant abuse of public office for personal gains and fight corruption in the private sector too. This is why I have not wavered in my support and commitment to resolutely fight against corruption. At this juncture, let me thank and congratulate the Commissioner, Francis Ben Kaifala, the Deputy Commissioner, Augustine Ruby, the board and dedicated team that has demonstrated assiduous commitment and dedication to achieving the objectives I set in my New Direction Manifesto. I've reiterated variously in my public pronouncements since I was elected president. And let me say again, that the fight against corruption is a fight we must fight, and it is a fight we must win. Today, we celebrate several aspects of our successes. This is a collective effort. The Commission is quite small as a team, but it is the collective effort.
All right, welcome back, and we so sorry the President commend you for your work. But again,
something come up where we see, like you mentioned again, parental in case now one of the issues that we prop up more than any other case, maybe because of the name, the position, or whatever. And we see social media also then say don't get to talk with the president. We also see a video with them, and we get some party with some members of MPs there with the president outside and say we are reading the chant, say we want to clock back, and also you read and say you don't talk with the president. What's not the updates of that case in relating to the president in the discussion?
Well, like I always say, certain things that they were there within the domain of the president, and I don't get no plan and responsibility for usurper from the president.
Like in this case?
Like, for example, in this case, the appointment, suspension, or disciplinary action against Honorable Paran before we charge him to court is not within the powers of the ACC. Okay? Section 34 of the ACC Act clearly states that only when we charge somebody to court, now with the right and say, let that person there step aside, but we'll not charge it. Therefore, where this public always don't they say, Ben Kaifala, they be selective, parental is still in the office. I have clarified that you are being unfair to us. That is not our true job.
Okay.
But I know President Bio is a man who is really committed to the fight against corruption. I know the conversations they all don't get in private. I know where issues of corruption can come. The ones that can get the opportunity for consult with him. I know how he feels about this thing.
Okay.
He's father of the nation. So obviously in your work difficult past even me own. Because there are many things he has to balance. But when this thing happen, where the public don't talk, where I come I get a meeting with him and we get a conversation. And clearly I know saying a man of action, and he tell me, say yes, just like how he promised in that very video where they talk, say, instead of personally look into the issue and take action, he confirmed to me that he was going to look into it. So I cannot tell you what he's going to do, but I know that he's going to do something.
Okay, now again, some cases in the way you're not able to deal with, in your own domain according to what you say, like this one we gave a do to Paran?
No, I'm not saying I'm not able to deal with, not dealing with domain.
Okay.
We operate within law. And that law say not only when we charge somebody to court, now we can say let's step aside. So for example, Aisha Johansson, when I became commissioner back in 2018, she had been charged to court for almost a year. And that provision in the act was not complied with. I look into him, I say, no, Aisha Johansson, you have to go. The law says, if the law says, when they charge you to court, you can't remain in office. So then they use that case that they juxtapose and with the case of Paran, it's not the same.
Okay.
He was already charged to court, and the law had to be enforced, and I made sure it was.
So in this case of Paran...
But in Paran, we have not yet charged him, because we just do this investigation now.
Okay. So how long will we do this investigation for do a charge?
It may take a month at least.
Okay.
It may take a month at least.
So, like how in WEF involved, say, no, they are when I go call them in camp?
In WEF there.
Okay.
In WEF there on bail at ACC.
So, before now, we not be the work, you not been in the country, or what? How them in the pair, we not been there?
It be the day sometimes you not be in the country. It be the travel, but it be the substantially in the country.
All right. So you say it will take a month for loan to charge that case?
It will take about a month, yes.
Okay. Maybe going back a little bit, you mentioned about Aisha Johansson and case, and then maybe so many other cases that don't come up with. I mean, a lot of people they look say, I mean, why on the, for example, like what you go say about, like you mentioned about selective justice. So people go say they look the opposition, they charge them or arrest them more than maybe people in the.
It's not true. The last day we call all political parties, journalists together to a press conference.
The right saga and one issue where people can raise a lot of
yes,
times.
the right saga indeed issues then come out where we make say we do what we call a strategic retreat. But the strategic retreat was not because it was selective.
Okay.
It's because the Attorney General then took an action which shocked us. She refused to sign the document that will allow the matter to be tried by judge alone, and we do not want corruption cases to be tried by a jury.
Okay.
And we did not want to set a precedent. It's like a forester taking care of a tree and one of them is infected by a disease. What do? You cut it down so that it does not become a contagion and affect the other trees. But does that mean it was selective? No. We took it back and now we decided to take other administrative actions in respect of that file. And that is already in motion.
Okay. Another issue again, well, again, a lot of people ask you down there. Mr. Go ask you down there, the SLBC issue with, Joseph Kapua. What you would say about that?
So SLBC is a very interesting case. Allegations were made against Kapua that he and the team embezzled a lot of money. We went in, just like how they say, nobody know the way they're above the law.
Yeah.
We investigate every issue of corruption when it comes to your attention. We investigated the Kapua issue, and we found out that indeed there were serious concerns with the administrative setup of the place.
Okay.
Okay? So because, for example, like election, they can give them 2 billion for buy cameras, for revamp the place. They actually bought the cameras. But they did not follow certain processes that leading to the buying of the camera because of administrative ineptitude.
Okay.
You understand? So basically, what we do, now for, first of all, get back to the Minister of Information and say, okay, we don't look at them. It's not the kind of corruption that they are saying, like somebody take money, thief and now go bills, go to, no. It's more failures of administrative responsibility, which we believe can be solved by a change of leadership. And we recommended a change of leadership, and the president has said. That is why Joseph Kapua has been removed from SLBC.
So now go back and look how then procurement and they all happen and deep into it.
Oh yes, we do that now. But we want another person for day in leadership. Why is that now they happen? We do what we call systems and processes review for make policy recommendations, then to waiting there for put in place or make sure say they can't see there.
In other words, then step aside whilst we do the investigation?
Well, let another leadership whilst we complete the
Why not in the case of parental rally?
I don't tell you, say the president said they take action in the case of parental rally. What more do you want me to say?
All right. So is it that the president
Joseph Kapua, not me pull am, not the president pull am.
So is when I can advise and say, Paolo, investigate man before you get another position?
You see, DJ Bays, listen, the presidency is a very powerful office. Okay?
Okay.
And I've told you, it is currently occupied by a man I have enormous respect for. Not just because he's president, but I have enormous respect for his intellect and his administrative ability.
Okay.
Okay? It might not be as easy as you see it when you are sitting down on the outside. You think it's just easy to take people out, do come under a new post in Canada and things like that. He's in a very difficult position. But me, Ben Kaifala, believe in this man.
Okay.
And I know he will take action.
You nothing say the Ambogi war?
So sometimes I don't need for president, you get for policeman, come on the office, bring other person. No, it means I am trying to dictate to a president of a nation what to do. I am trying to usurp his role.
Okay.
And I've always said in interviews and where they go. And most times that is what the public wants me to do. That is what journalists want me to say. But listen, at the end of the day, this man was voted for by 100% of the population of Sierra Leone. Whether you voted against him, it is your problem. When you voted against him, you were voting for him as long as he won. You understand?
Yeah.
He is the one, he is the CEO of Sierra Leone. The anti-corruption commissioner can play his part, but I don't have to dictate to him every step of the way what to do. He's a very reasonable man, he's a great intellectual, and a fantastic administrator. Let's allow him to run the country.
Okay. Now, with the CACs to talk about, declaring assets, Ona gets I mean, a number of people and we don't declare the assets, and the one that will not declare assets, we think will happen today.
You know what happened in December?
No.
Oh, 6 people their salary. There is a quiet revolution happening in Sierra Leone. Sometimes I don't know.
What? Because
We just quietly send letters to Accountant General and say, Accountant General, they not declare their assets, seize their salary. The kind of chaos every day. People that run helter-skelter. As I speak with you, I tell you, say nearly 96% of Sierra Leoneans in the previous declaration round don't declare their assets. That record is not everywhere in the world. That record not exists even in America for asset declaration. So at the end of the day, we can look at ourselves and say it is successful. It may not be 100%, but at least we are getting there. A new declaration year has started. When people do not declare their assets, remember I said we amend the law in 2019.
Yeah.
And we put and say, one, we can seize your salary. If you continue not for declare your assets, we recommend for me then dismiss, then suspend you from office. After 6 months, where you not declare, even when they don't seize your salary, they don't suspend you, we ask that you be removed from office. We do all of them.
All right. The Minister of Finance, tell me about their own case. What's going to happen? The people at the Minister of Finance.
No, the people at the Ministry of Finance will not recover fully. The total money will recover, including the 4.3 billion news will recover in cash. The amount in their accounts, we amounts total to about 6-point-something billion news. We don't recover first of all, as a condition for them bail. Since we arrest them sometime in December, not today they don't get bail finally.
Okay.
Okay.
Why didn't get in the bill?
We give them the bail because we don't recover fully the money.
Okay.
And they
all the money?
All, 100%.
Cash?
Cash. You don't see the picture of the DJ bail.
No, I see. Wait a minute. They ask who side them keep them on the way on all and then bring all them on them pay.
Some of them sell their oats.
Okay.
Some of them go sell their oats in distress. Because from where they hold them, I say, they not say that you, but now they go home if you not carry that money there. Some don't sell the oats, some don't pour the oats, spawn the oats. Some of the family members, they don't go lend money somewhere. The lawyers, them, in fact, some lawyer can't tell me, say, then lend them 100 million years of pay. Now, I make you be asking me who started to pull the money. I know where they get some of this money. Because sometimes when this conversation, alone people, they just feel say the money is done somewhere and then go take it. People, they engage in corruption, trust me, they don't keep money that way.
Okay.
Then they fire.
So
December, now then they go reach, now they buy there and say serve the house. But who hold them now? It is serious distress on their families to come up with this money. And I find pleasure in this because now that's exactly what I want. When you go to your own father-in-law and go tell father-in-law, I thief money in ACC, father-in-law, do you lend me 100 million years ago pay in ACC? When you go through that ordeal day, sometimes it is worse than a prison. And that is why we not underestimate the power of this recovery what they do.
Okay. I read a post, Lahai Mara say, Mr. ACC Commissioner don't turn PRO, telling MDAs how to escape corruption. You can employ your wife, just rescue yourself from the process. You can steal government money, just make sure your documents are proper. If the issue around Omar Parantarali are not taken seriously, I'm sorry to state, corruption will be legal in Sierra Leone. The legislation of corruption starts with Paran Omar Traoré. What do you say about this?
With all due respect to Honorable Mara as a parliamentarian, putting out that particular post on social media, I'm very disappointed in him.
Okay.
He sounds very ignorant. Because conflict of interest, now a straightforward issue of law. Don't put yourself in a position whereby you can take a decision that will conflict with your conscience because of how close you are
to that person,
to the object of that decision. Okay? No law, no, the late Honorable Mara show we one law in Sierra Leone will say you cannot employ your wife. Let's show we one law will say you cannot do business. Let's say me a minister now. I get a company where they supply then drinks there in a salon.
Yeah.
No law not talks say my ministry can't buy these drinks from my business. But the law says at that time when they are taking that decision, who side for buy drink for? And for declaring writing say Sierra Juice, me Minister Ben Kaifala, I get 60% shares in that company. Then I also talk say because of that 60% shares we are getting in that company day, another day who say when they decide this thing, I dey wash my hands clean.
Okay.
But if una now we left, decide say despite that mean statement to una consider it can be say, let's say you want one grain consultant surgeon at Connaught Hospital and the head of Connaught Hospital in West. Now the only qualified consultant surgeon from Russia. You go talk say enough for work at Connaught Hospital at all, so Connaught Hospital for day without a consultant surgeon. But when they take that decision, they as long as that head of that office they don't make it clear to the body responsible for that recruitment and remove himself from that process so that they go look at them fairly and decide say in Sierra Leone. Though Mr. Kaifala is the head, it can happen. It's happening everywhere in the world.
Even if in regulation.
I like my brother or my sister, as long as you follow this process, so I don't tell you, it is allowed.
You don't think so maybe other people go look say, look, just bring a wife or Brian wife so that then you go able to do the supply, which is also a conflict of interest. The relationship.
The ideal situation is that everybody for avoid this, because it is now be happen to this gentleman when I be the head of NRA. She say,
okay.
There was a gentleman who was head of NRA in the days of Ernest Bai Kroma. Now, him make them be charged him to court because his wife did business with NRA. But why they caught me free? Because when they do the procurement, he wrote to say, this is my wife who is involved in this procurement, and they go ahead and do it anyway. But look at the consequences to him. He stood trial for nearly 2 years. By the time they take that decision, he was eventually not found guilty, but he has already gone through that humiliation. Why do you want to put yourself through that? Just avoid it, man.
Okay.
Take your wife somewhere else. Find a way for her to get jobs somewhere else.
Exactly.
Except in the extreme situation like I talk, we don't get no other consultant surgeon in Sierra Leone, cardiologist in Sierra Leone, and my wife is the only consultant cardiologist in Sierra Leone. Then it is justified for you to say she can work here. But I am telling every Sierra Leonean, avoid it. Don't bring your brother to your office. Don't bring your wife to your office. Don't bring your sister to your office. Don't bring any close family member to your office. It is likely to lead to problems.
Like what happens to Paran?
Look at Paran now. I can tell you, say Paran is very remorseful about this. He went to my office crying. He regrets it. But it could have all been avoided had it not happened in the first place. Look at now, everything will not happen. Let's even assume, say, like how people in the talk say there is impunity, nothing will happen to him. Do you really think nothing has happened to Paran already?
A lot have happened to him character also. Yeah.
That is what we call in economics cost. Cost is not always about consequences. That cost on you